That's how I like it a lot. Bobby's on the couch. Where were you when we were riding Elvis? Nowhere to be seen.
I was camping in the next field.
Of course you were. Hey, we'll get to you later, Bob, but...
that was all I could think of on the spot.
Yeah, no, shh, don't give it away. You got away with it.
All right.
People thought we'd spend hours on that.
I really was camping in the next field.
I know. Good. Hey, I'm distracted. I've got some talking going on in this here because we're about to cross live to, well, Edinburgh, Scotland to catch up with one Judith Lucy. Are you there, Jude?
I certainly am, Mick.
Oh, crikey. What's going on? You're underneath the mistletoe? What?
Well, look, I'll explain this in a minute. I know what you're probably thinking. You're thinking, look, Jude's in Scotland. Surely should be wearing a kilt and eating some haggis. Yes. But I'll tell you right now, there's a place for sheep's intestines, and quite frankly, it's not in my mouth.
Understood. Jude, can I ask, how's your show going?
Oh, listen, this is true. We got our first review today, and it actually said nice things about the show. But it described me as looking like Michelle Pfeiffer's younger sister, which I was quite happy with, until it added, if a tree had fallen on top of her. Of course, I am doing the show with a flattened face and a nest of pigeons on my head, so that could explain that.
Crikey.
But look, what's a little bit annoying is that we have travelled all this way, Mick, and essentially we're performing to a bunch of Australians.
Okay.
They've come to another country, they've got the cream of performers to go and see, and they've just gone, we're going to check out some Aussies. And I reckon it could be anyone. I reckon the Leyland brothers could be here doing an hour of flamenco dance, and they would be packed out with Australians.
That'd win the Perrier, Jude.
I think it would, but I think Tony and I are just a bit put out that we bothered to actually hire a theatre when we could just be performing at the Backpackers and doing a selection of Men at Work songs. So that's a bit annoying, but I tell you, the good thing is we are being recognised quite a lot, and don't want to make anyone a bit jelly beans, but I popped into the toilet at the theatre the other evening, and apparently when I left, an Australian woman went and used the same toilet and then very excitedly told her friend afterwards, well, it's official, I've used the same toilet seat as Judith Lucy. Now, what happened to autographs? That's all I And quite frankly, the joke's on her, because sure, I used that cubicle, but I just went in there, wet myself, flushed the toilet and left. We did, though, a couple of nights ago, we had 2 Scottish people come to the show. Oh, yeah. 20 minutes in, they stood up and said, no, I'm sorry, we've got to go, we're too drunk. I tried to explain that that was generally when you were seeing me a bonus. And, you know, that if they'd actually lost consciousness, they'd be seeing me under, you know, optimum circumstances. And it actually reminded me of the last time I was here when 30 minutes into the show, a British couple stood up, said, sorry, we're in the wrong theatre. They were supposed to be seeing a middle-aged Jewish male comic, and I'm sure that, you know, they would have stayed there for the whole show, but I happened to mention that I wasn't circumcised.
That'll do it every time, Jude. Hey, look, I have to ask you, Jude, because I've been over there myself, and in festival time, it's a mad scramble for accommodation. How have you gone this time?
Well, this is why I'm looking a little bit like I should be selling craft. Because basically, this encapsulates my flat. There's a lot of wood, there are a lot of fringed lamps, a lot of potpourri, and in fact, Tony Martin suggested that the flat was owned by Stevie Nicks.
Oh dear, oh dear.
And I think he's onto something. This is actually from the wardrobe of the woman who owns the flat, so gee, hope she's got some relatives in Australia. We've got this as well. I don't know whether you meant to wear it or strain some vegetables. This is the only time I'm going to mention Scottish food, but I found this in the flat. Some chips I hadn't come across before. They're yoghurt and green onion flavour.
Oh, hello.
Now, it does say on the packet, distinctive taste, and I don't think anyone's arguing with them there. But So is ice cream and bacon, and I'm not about to be chowing down on that anytime soon.
Good on you, Jude.
But then, just quickly, I thought, look, I'll check out the flat, see if the Stevie Nicks thing could be true, and I think Tony's right, because I found some clues. We've got the Stop the Clock video, which is all about, what does it say? Discover the secret of eternal youth, although I think it could be a bit late for Stevie. What with the surgery and the hair, I think she's pretty much stuck looking like a Pekingese. And I think this is a bit of a secret that someone's stuck in another decade. When was the last time you saw the Fondue Cookbook?
Oh, hello.
Which basically just tells you how to disguise the taste of anything with melted cheese, which I'm happy to say is a tradition that Taco Bell has pretty much stuck with. And finally, just the record collection really gave it away. We've got Chicago, Boz Scaggs, The Haunting, Marilyn Martin and Phil Collins with Separate Lives. And we can tell they're separate lives because there's a line running down the middle of the album, and she appears to be sitting on a laundry basket, which is saying to me, back off, Baldy, I'm keeping the white goods. And now, I'm unfamiliar with Gallagher and Lyle, but it's a bit of a tip for the band, because I know that Kev and Barry are probably a bit cocky about the way they play guitar, but I'd like to see them try doing it on roller skates.
There's a challenge, boys. Must try harder.
And I've hardly had this one off the hi-fi system. It's Gilbert O'Sullivan's I'm a Writer, Not a Fighter. Now, I've been reading some of Gilbo's lyrics, and I beg to differ.
Here we go.
We've got here, and as soon as I get home on leave, what do you think that I'll have up my sleeve, apart from arms? There I was thinking it was a love song for amputees, but he just pulled the rug right from under me. And finally, here we are, what we've been waiting for. Tell me lies, tell me sweet little lies.
Bingo.
So I think, yes, I'm in Stevie Nicks' flat, and by crikey, you don't see art like that anymore unless it's on the side of a panel van.